Hello? Nah, I can't come out tonight. I gotta finish getting this product out from Mr. Beartruth. You know how he gets if the stuff isn't done, so I gotta hurry up and get it done. Yeah, I know, usually I like to go out and chill and stuff, but I'm really trying to stay focused and keep creative and keep my creative mindset going, you know? I don't want any Hey, yo, I'm gonna call you back. I just heard something in the house. I'm gonna go check it out. Alright, bye. What the f... What is up to all my lights out there? It's Suave, and in the last video we talked about how to get into your creative flow. So today we are talking about things to refrain from when getting into your creative flow. So let's get right into it. Let's try to steamroll through this so we don't have to take too much of your time. So let's go. Let's get at it. Let's get to it. So with that being said, one of the first things that I feel hold you back and that we should refrain from when being creative is laziness and procrastination. Yes, laziness and procrastination is, man, I feel there's a lot of times we all get lazy. There's a lot of times we all procrastinate. And pretty much, just to sum it up, laziness and procrastination is exactly what it sounds like. You're not getting any work done because you're not wanting to work.
But it's hard.
You pretty much refuse. You just want to sit down all day, or you just want to relax all the time. And don't get me wrong, there are days you want to relax. There are days you want to take a load off, and that is good for you. It's beneficial for you. But too much of something can sometimes be a bad thing. And that's one thing that I feel we all need to understand. Now with laziness and procrastination, I have this one thing that I like to call the I'll do it later syndrome. The I'll do it later syndrome is pretty much when, you know, you have something to do and you're like, oh, I need to get this done. And you're just like, oh no, you know what, I'll just do it later. When you do that, you're constantly pushing back your goal point. So if you need to accomplish something and you're constantly pushing back the goal point, how do you expect to get things done in a timely manner or get things done at all if you're constantly moving your goal point back? So that's just something that I want to shed a light on with procrastination. One thing I will say to counteract that though is try using this. Anytime you get into a scenario to where you're saying I'll do it later, always ask yourself, why not now? The reason why I say to do that is because you actually reflect on your reasoning and why you are trying to say, I'll do it later. And if you don't have a good enough reason, sometimes you're like, oh, that's true, I do have all this time. Why don't I just get this done now? So if you ask yourself at any time, why not now, anytime you say, I'll do it later, if you have no good reason on why you should be pushing it back, then that obviously means that you should be doing whatever it is that you're trying to push back at that very moment. Alright, next thing is feeding into self-doubt. Now this is pretty much the opposite of positive affirmations. If you're not sending yourself positive affirmations, you might be feeding into self-doubt. And that is not a good thing. One thing I want everyone to note is that we all have doubtful thoughts. So it's not the fact that you have doubtful thoughts that's the problem. The problem isn't that. The problem is when you feed too much into the doubtful thoughts that you're having. When we start to feed into the doubtful thoughts, we honestly put ourselves in situations that make us not even want to be creative because we're not even believing in ourselves. So that's when you start to put yourself down more. And that's why in the last video I was saying we need to balance being our worst critic and being our best friend, because if you're too hard on yourself and you're always putting yourself down, you're not really critiquing yourself to improve, but you're putting yourself down to where you feel like you're not worthy of what it is that you're doing. So you don't want to put yourself in that predicament to where you're pushing yourself down further and further and you don't even feel like you can get up or you're strong enough to do the things that you want to do. That's why we need to have that balance. Worst critic, best friend. Make the balance, make the connection. Alright, next thing is, wait, how did I forget that already? Next thing is putting too much on your plate. Like I said before, I know I said that one of the things to get creative is to get moving and just to start doing stuff. But too much of something is not a good thing sometimes, as I said before. So you don't want to overbook yourself and put too much on your plate to where you feel overwhelmed and you feel like there's too much stuff going on at once and you don't know what to focus on because there's so much going on around you. So that's the thing with putting too much on your plate. It's good to get moving and it's good to stay productive, but if you're overdoing it and you're putting way too much on your plate than it needs to be and you're not able to actually breathe, you feel smothered, then it's not going to help you. It's not going to be beneficial. You're going to start to wear yourself out. You're going to start to burn out pretty much from doing that, and it's going to be hard for you to really focus on one thing because you're always going to be thinking like, oh, well, I still have to do this, or I'm not going to be able to get to this, or this is too much for me, or things like that start to come in your mind if you overbook yourself or you're constantly putting too much on your plate. So definitely try to balance that out. Try to plan stuff accordingly. Write stuff down, and if there's stuff that you can't get to, try to see in your schedule where you can fit it. Just really try to schedule things out. See your time schedule. See how long it takes you to do certain things. Just really discipline yourself in that area. Alright, next thing. Feeding into excessive sexual drive. That is the NoFap. NoFap is, in my opinion, pretty legit. The reason why I say that though, when we do it excessively, it takes a lot of energy, time, and it's really stuff where we can put that energy into something else. The thing I feel about sexual drive is really strong within all of us. If we can channel that energy to other things like being creative or accomplishing goals, then honestly we can get more stuff done and we won't be as held back because we're constantly thinking about sex excessively. And that's the problem. I think it's the excessive part that begins to be a problem. When I say sexual drive in general, this also means sex. If you're feeding too much into sex, that can be a problem as well, because you can be using that energy towards something else sometimes rather than just using it on sex all the time. Notice a lot of time after sex or masturbation or anything of that sort, you're usually tired afterwards. You don't want to do anything. You kind of want to just sit in the house. Sometimes you want to go to sleep, all that stuff, but you really don't want to get stuff done, or you really don't want to accomplish things, or you really don't want to push for things sometimes. And I feel that is mainly because you're feeding too much in the sexual drive, or sometimes it's just because you got that release. If you use that energy and you fuel it towards something else, then you're fueling a lot more stronger energy towards whatever it is you want to channel that energy to. So, no fapping is legit. I would say It's okay sometimes. But a lot of men, we spend a lot of time with Jill. If you guys don't know who Jill is. Now I can see a lot of women getting mad at their like boyfriends or husband or something. They're like, oh nah, you better go handle that with Jill. It's not going down tonight. You better go with Jill. Spend time with Jill tonight. Be careful with your sexual drive. Don't feed into it excessively. Just try to have a balance. Alright, next thing is bad and toxic relationships. So when you're in a bad and toxic relationship, that can draw a lot of energy to you, because honestly, one thing that I realize is if you're in a bad and toxic relationship, notice when you sleep or when you're about to sleep sometimes, you'll reflect on that, and when that sits with you, it's hard for you to focus on anything else, because once you sleep on something, then when you wake up, it's like a main focus when you wake up, kind of. You carry it with you, and you want your well-being to be good, and you don't want to have to worry about the negativity or the unwholesomeness of a bad or toxic relationship. Speaking of bad and toxic relationships, can we talk? I need to talk to you real quick. You want to sit down, or you want? You know what? Let's just go. Let's just talk over here. Let's go. Okay, look. I don't know how to say this, but we gotta end this now. We can't do this anymore. It's too much on me. It takes a lot out of me. It's really. I need to look out for my well-being, and I can't keep doing this to myself. We had good times. I mean, we really had good times. But we just gotta move past this. We gotta keep going. Would you look at me? You and Jill, y'all just we can't keep doing this. I need to look out for me. I need to look out for my well-being. I just gotta let you go. But look, we can still stay friends. We can keep it strictly. I still need to get my arms lotioned up after I get out the shower. I just gotta keep it cordial. I just need to move past this. I'm sorry. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, that's bad and toxic relationships. Try to refrain from being in bad and toxic relationships. If you feel that you're in a toxic relationship, just try to take a step back, or let them know. Let them know that it feels toxic. Like this relationship feels toxic. It's starting to feel like a weight on me. I just kind of want to sit back and take a step back from this. I need a breather from this. I'm finna go. Giving into fear is the last thing, and obviously I left that for last because I feel like this is one of the hardest things and a big struggle for us in general. Giving into fear, I feel like self-doubt. Once you're feeding into self-doubt, that's when your fear is going to start building. If you feed too much into self-doubt, that's where you can give into fear. But once you give into fear, it's going to be a lot harder for you to really feel creative, because you're going to constantly have those fearful thoughts and be afraid to go do something, or afraid to go out there, because fear is constantly beating you down. So in these scenarios, I say just don't give in to fear. When you're in a fearful situation, try to beat the situation. Try to push past it. Try to overcome it. No matter if you fail. If you fail, it can be good. It can be a good thing. Take everything as a learning experience. If you still don't feel creative after these things, you tried this, you tried to refrain from these things, you used all these methods and it still didn't work, then I say use these 2 lifelines. One lifeline is to change your surroundings. So changing your surroundings, just try to rearrange your room. Study, if you're studying for something, study in a different place than you normally would. Probably study at a friend's house, study at a coffee shop, at a library, study outside. Anything, just change your surroundings. Try to go for something different and see how that works for you. Sometimes changing your surroundings bring a different energy around you, gets you a more open feeling, kind of gets you feeling like a weight is lifted off you. Sometimes when you're in the same place constantly seeing the same thing, your mind doesn't feel like it's growing because everything is the exact same around you. So it's like, this is the same routine over and over. I don't feel any growth. Now, and the next thing I would say is to call a friend. Call a friend. Call a friend that you're really cool with, that you know supports you, that you know is going to help you, that you know can help open your mind. Usually they're going to help you in that sense. And when I say help you, that doesn't mean that they're going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what's going to help you. Sometimes what's going to help you is not what you want to hear, but it's beneficial for you. So it's good to have that person that's going to tell you exactly what's going to help you improve. Also, while you guys are talking, you guys can brainstorm ideas. You guys can go back and forth. When you get a different perspective from another person, it helps open your mind because you're like, oh, I didn't think of things that way. Now I have another way of looking at it. Changing your surroundings, calling a friend, both of them help. Try it out if it's still not working for you. So that's pretty much it for things to refrain from when getting into your creative flow. If you guys have anything that you guys think we should refrain from, make sure to let us know in the comment section down below so we can have a discussion about it. Or if this helped you and you feel like you've learned something that you should refrain from, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Also, make sure to go check out Beartruth Clothing. I will have a link to their clothing line in the description below so you can check them out. They have a lot of good product with a good message, so you should definitely check it out and support. Bring that positive energy, not just in what you do, but what you wear. Alright, so check them out. I'll have a link in the description below. Make sure to add me on all social media so I can meet you guys and connect with other lights out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a coin flip. Hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you guys can stay connected with me and follow me on this journey. And as always, make sure to keep growing, keep loving, keep connecting, and keep spreading light. Bye, guys.